Oh, I know. I got another butt cut. This podcast should just be called Butt Cuts.
Butt cuts.
Butt cuts with
Butt cuts with Steph Tolev. Ew, can you imagine you can
me.
only fall asleep to sounds of shitting because of some weird childhood trauma where they live next to a toilet factory or
a toilet factory. Hello.
Hi, Stephanie.
Long time friend. First time podcaster,
Yes.
Julia Hladkowicz. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You know what? Here's the thing. Julia shows up looking like $1 million fucking dollars today. She's wearing this. If you're not watching the YouTube, suck my dick. You look great. You come in looking like a fucking model, and I was wearing an old sweatshirt from Laura Danowski, which you know is stained.
Yeah, I know it's been on her vagina for sure for no reason.
Oh, she's wiped her ass and puss with it for 12 times, and then. I was wearing shorts, and now I'm wearing a full cheetah romper and cowboy boots in my own home.
Yeah, you look great.
Well, I was really happy for a casual day. That's why I love having it in my house.
The only reason I'm wearing a dress is it's hot today. It's 25 degrees Canadian.
Yes.
So what? That's like
Excuse
80, high 70s.
I don't know. I refuse to learn.
So do I. You've lived here for how long? 10
years.
Yeah, and I've been here 8, and I'm like, what?
I don't want to. There's some things I don't care to do.
No, Celsius makes more sense. More sensious.
More sensious.
Mm-hmm.
More sensious. You'll relate to this. I'm very tired today because my upstairs neighbor.
I already am so mad.
Oh, you're actually going to lose your mind. Kicked her boyfriend out. Fine. Hired cleaners. What time would you think a cleaning company would start working?
I don't know, like 9 a.m.
Oh, you wouldn't think 6:45 in the morning? 6:45 a.m. banging, 7:15 vacuuming, 1 hour straight. I mean, now it's great because we don't hear it for the podcast, but
oh my God.
It was my only day to sleep in. I was so pumped up, and I'm like, anyways.
No, I would have lost my goddamn mind. I mean, that's why I live in Alhambra and rent a house, because I literally can't deal with upstairs, which we'll get to later in the infection of the brain that I have. No, I don't have a brain infection, but
I was like, you did.
I'm mentally ill, so I guess.
Because you remember, you guys had those neighbors in Hollywood.
Oh my God.
And Matt, your husband, set up like what did he do? He said like.
It was a lie, what he did.
Okay, but we thought it looked real, whatever. Don't tell them. They don't know.
He did like I tapped into my neighbor's Bluetooth thing, and it's like, turn your fucking music down. It was honestly like they were bowling all the time, blasting music, putting on their tap shoes, trotting across the floor. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
It's been good here. Like Jefferson's very, like, he wakes up if I can't fart at night.
I know, you were saying.
It's so annoying. I have one little fart. Also, I've been sick since the last time I saw you.
Yeah, and I'm surprised I didn't get sick. We were at the porno awards.
We were at the porno sounds disgusting.
The porno awards.
You were my +1 to the porno awards.
Yeah.
You sat front row behind Dredd, man with the biggest cock on the planet.
Yeah, that was the only seat available.
Well, because his dick was hogging 5 other seats around you. Look up Dredd's dick. It's literally, I showed it to you. It's like a forearm to.
Truly insane.
It scares me.
Yeah.
Anaconda. It's huge. I was sick from when I got there, I got sick, and then I got a new sickness, I think, when I left there.
Yeah.
I have an inhaler now. I am on a puffer.
Wow.
You would have lost your mind. So I've been coughing at night every single night for like 3 hours straight.
Ew.
It's so bad. Jefferson's going to leave me. I'm on the couch like a divorced dad. I've been losing my fucking mind. It's so bad now that I had to go back to the hospital twice. Yeah. I'm like, something's wrong. I'm on a puffer.
Did you ever have asthma?
No.
Okay, because Matt got bronchitis like a couple years ago, and it got so bad that he had to get a puffer again, and it gave him like so much PTSD because he had asthma as a kid, and he's like, I thought I outgrew this, blah, blah, blah.
So that's what I had. I think I had bronchitis. It turned into asthma, and now this is who I am now.
Does it feel nice though? It's a little hit of like.
I love the puffer. I'll tell you what, I don't think I'll ever smoke again. Which is good. I don't know why I was smoking at 39
don't go for a
years old.
Smoke break. Go for a little puff break.
Oh yeah, I did. When I was ageless, and I was in the back shaking. I was like, so last night, speaking of on stage, I need to tell this story quickly.
Yeah.
I like to yell at men.
What?
I enjoy yelling at men. I was, yelling at this row of men that weren't laughing at me. I'm like, what's with this bald old pig? He hates me. Simply was Creed from The Office. Called him a bald old pig. And he was like, huh? And I was like, and I went, oh, it's Creed from The Office. Great. And then we got into a huge ordeal. And I'm like, why are you sitting there? Move. And he goes, okay. Gets up, does the slowest walk to the back of the room. It was a bit. And then he came back and they made like a fake fart sound when he sat back down.
Oh my God.
Of course I wasn't filming. Why would I?
Oh no.
No, why would I film it?
Wait, don't they film it at the store?
Not at the belly room.
They started.
So I might have that.
You might have that footage.
I would love.
I need that footage of why was Creed there in the front row?
I don't know.
Fake farting.
If he was there,
and he wasn't enjoying it. Like
at first he wasn't, but then then he got so embarrassed that he had to move to the back because everyone was bugging him after that.
Right.
But if you're a celebrity, you have to sit in the back.
I've heard some really people have some not great stories about that man. Apparently he's quite mean.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
but I don't know. I don't want to spread rumors on this podcast.
I want you to.
But he was mean. But who knows? I've been mean before, and maybe they're like, maybe I was having a bad day, and someone's like, Julia Hladkowicz is a fucking pig, and I'm like, well, I was on my period or something.
Yeah. You can
Like,
always use the period. It's my period.
But I have all sorts of ailments. I'm like, it's my brain, it's my ADHD, it's my sensory processing disorder.
Sensory processing disorder. What's this?
It's so I was diagnosed with ADHD like 2 years ago. Went through this whole process that was a fucking nightmare because my whole life I was just like, I thought I was just sensitive. And everybody's like, you're so sensitive to everything, like especially with like the noise stuff. And then everybody's like, maybe you're autistic, and I'm like, okay, which is fine if I was. Autism is a spectrum. So I went through this whole thing, a very long process, and they determined that I had ADHD and sensory processing disorder. They're like, which is like a newer thing. Basically, it's like a sensory overload. So like if too many things are happening, like noise, visual stuff, for me, especially noise, like I get overwhelmed. I shut down. I can't handle it, which is partly why I don't live in an apartment.
Okay. So you get like angry, you get like pissy.
Yeah.
Like what is it like?
It's like such an overload that I like shut down, and I'm like, I get super tired. I get like really short, and
You just shrink?
I just shrink. Yeah. I turn into Martin Short.
All of a sudden you're a 4'5" man just hobbling around like, what happened?
I can't handle this. Yeah, it's bad, and I need to figure out how to.
So what do there's no medication obviously for this.
That's the thing, and they're like, you need like they basically said I needed like a not a caregiver, but it was it was so. That's the thing with mental health. They're like, yeah, you have this. I'm like, how do I fix it? They're like, I don't know. You have to find like a specialist or a therapist who deals with that. And then you look it up, and because it's such like a new thing, I don't know. It's fucked as hell. And then I am talking to a therapist now, and she's like, it sounds like you have HSP. I'm like, what? And she's like,
letters.
Highly sensitive person. I'm like, well, that's the most bitch ass fucking ailment to have.
HSP.
I'm a highly sensitive person, but apparently it's a thing. And then people are like, no, it sounds like you have misophonia, which is like when people are chewing and it fucking makes you irate. I like sounds, specifically with me, sounds. And I've been this way since I was a kid.
Every time we have a sleepover together, which is more than you think. And we do share a bed. We simply do share a bed. You have to have your white noise on.
I have to.
I want to rip your eyes out and put them in your own ass. But now, to be honest, the last time when it was turned down, in Vegas was better because it was turned down.
Yes, I remember we were going to bed. It's like 4 a.m. You're like, I can't have this loud. I'm like, it's not going to be as loud.
Because sometimes it's been loud.
Oh, it's been loud.
Oh, you always have the same one. It's it's that like classic. What is that sound?
I think it's brown noise.
Okay. I was looking through because I found it was like brown noise, white noise, gray noise.
Gray noise,
like,
there's pink. No, you know what? It's pink noise.
It's
I have
pink noise. Okay,
I'm
a girl. I like pink noise. I have brown noise. I have caca noise. It's just Jefferson farting. Can you imagine just him shitting beside me?
Ew, can you imagine you can only fall asleep to sounds of shitting?
I bet you there's somebody who listens to like toilet sounds.
Oh yeah, because of some weird childhood trauma where they live next to a toilet factory or
a toilet factory. Why is everyone shitting at a toilet factory? You wouldn't hear anything. A toilet factory.
A toilet testing factory.
A toilet, and there's one man. It's like it's just me drinking my milk of magnesia the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
I have this weird thing where like if I hear a shower and I'm sleeping, it fucking sets me off. Because when I was a kid, When I had dancing competitions, it was that like my mom would get up like 6 a.m. and blare the shower. Just like her and my dad would wake up and it'd be so loud. And I knew, I was like, I have to get up and have a day of fucking hell to like run the dancing competition, dance, not place, be pissed off.
You pissed off?
Me pissed off. If you saw me playing golf the other day, I'm selling my clubs. If anybody listening
oh my God, Matt O'Brien wants clubs.
He can buy my clubs. They're men's. I hate golfing. I'm never golfing again. I'm pretty good at sports. I started at golf. I was like, I'm pretty good. I'm going to brag. I'm smug. Every game I've played, I've got progressively worse and in such a way that it doesn't make any sense.
Because you have a higher expectation and standard now. So you might regress for a bit and then you'll get better. How long have you been golfing for?
Done. I'm fucking Happy Gilmore. I'm throwing the clubs. He's getting so mad because he's like, the Rangers over there. We're going to get shit. I'm like, kick me off. I don't care. Cuff me. Get me out of here. We have been friends for, I'm trying to think of like other fun things that we've traveled quite a bit together.
We've traveled quite a bit together, and I was looking at some just pictures of me on stage the other day because I was looking at some stage pictures. I'm like, I'm always pointing, squatting, lunging something. So it's just like I compiled like a collage of me over the years, and I'm like, it's simply the same movements over the years. And there's this picture of us that I found from Montreal, 2010.
Oh, we'll plop it up here.
And we're both 2 pounds.
We're a rail.
We're both so skinny.
Dare we say we were fat?
I know.
Pissed.
And at the time, so I have a thyroid problem. I mean, this is Steph Infection. And my thyroid I have hypothyroidism, and then it went hyperthyroid because my dosage was too high. So I was just like, and also I was like early 20s, but I was so fucking thin because of that. And I remember I was like eating so much and everybody's like, fuck you. Because I was like, I was like,
just like scarfing, but so fucking
But yeah, there's a picture and it's very blurry because cameras back then weren't the same as they are now. And I have this massive dildo in my jeans.
Yeah.
And you're sucking it.
I am simply sucking it. And I was thin. Yeah. That's when I was running a lot. That's when I was playing Aussie rules football.
Yeah, we were in Montreal, and it was the fucking dead of winter. And this is when I didn't know you as well yet. I think it was the beginning of our friendship, maybe a couple years. Yes. And you're like, I'm going for a run, and I'm like, it's 6 a.m. Montreal winter. Who the fuck are you?
I was really gung ho about my weight at that point. I was really crazy. But that trip, actually, that I think was the bonding of our relationship.
Yeah,
because we drove.
Oh yeah,
we had a drive. No one, when comics out here are complaining and like, I've been doing it for 8 years. I've been doing it since Nam. I have started comedy when the Vietnam War was happening.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a long ass time.
I think I'm at 23 years now. I think I keep saying 2022. I'm simply at 23. I started when I was 18, first set when I was 17 years old. So
set I was 17 as well.
We were babies.
Baby time. I was at Humber College for comedy writing performance. So were you. I was 17 when I started that program.
And you had a shaved head and a piercing in the back.
Well, I had hair when the first week of college, and I was like, fuck everybody. And just shaved my head.
Crazy.
Showed off the piercing that I got in high school.
Ew, I can't feel your neck. What a gross piercing. I hate that one. Middle of the back. Was it a barbell? You have a hoop back there. Ew.
Yeah, a hoop. Like the laughing cow. No. Yeah. A hoop on the back of my neck. That was a barbell.
Bizarre.
Yeah. I didn't want anything on my face.
So the nape of my neck is where I want to shove a needle in there and put some studs. Yes. So I got us. So it was a tour called She's Got a Shape Tour. It was a riff on the Will Ferrell thing. No one really understood
Nobody
it.
understood.
I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever thought of in my life. It was me, you, Cheap Smoke, Laura and Caitlin, Diana Love, and me and Allison Hogg for Lady Stash. And we did this in the middle of the winter.
I don't know why we planned like a tour where we're driving and we're driving ourselves
in like a big van, in like a rape van. It was a rape van.
Did we rent that thing?
Yeah, we rented it. I think we got a deal because I don't know. I was all gung ho, but like all girl tour, let's do it.
Yeah,
we were in Collingwood, Ontario, middle of nowhere. We did Ottawa, Pembroke, and London, Ontario.
London, yeah.
So we drove from. Excuse me, I'm coughing.
Collingwood.
We drove from Collingwood, Ontario, Canada, which is a 6 hour drive, 5-6 hour drive.
Yeah, I'd say 5 to 6. Yeah.
I got us on the 7 a.m. morning show in Montreal.
Yeah.
And we did a show in Collingwood that night. Good show, fun show. It was all Allison's friends and family from Collingwood. Great, cool bar. And I was like, you know what? You guys all drink. I'll be the DD. I made the deal to get us to Montreal. I'll get us to Montreal.
Collingwood, by the way, is like a ski town. Mountains,
ski town.
So picture that in the winter.
Yeah. So we get in the car. We get about 40 minutes outside. The biggest snowstorm I've ever seen with my own two eyes.
Yeah.
You could not even see if you put your hand out of the window in front of the windshield this close, you wouldn't see it.
Total whiteout conditions. And Collingwood, because it's like mountain town, it's like farmland, and it's just nothing out there. No street lights, no nothing. And you're like, okay.
We were no road. Zero, no cars in front, no cars behind, no road. Like, I'm like, am I in the ditch? I actually don't know. So everyone's freaking out. Like, you weren't that bad. It was Laura, who I always wanted to fuck. Laura, the only one without a license, was like, we're gonna die. I'm like, I will take your shit smeared underwear and shove it down your throat. Shut the hell up. I was so pissed because I was like, I'm trying to be calm.
Yeah.
Allison's beside me in the front, so drunk.
Allison's
I could just
hammered,
smell the whiskey. She goes, we're good. Keep it slow. Keep it moving. I'm like, there's no moving. I can't see the road. So we pull over and I'm like, I don't know how I didn't kill everyone in the car. We somehow like calmed down for like 10 minutes. This fucking ambulance goes by. This Saint Michael, I don't know what that is. Saint Jesus Michael of the Lords
Saint
pulls
Jesus
by.
Michael Christ.
Pull window down, open window, swirls of fucking snow coming. He's like, what are you guys doing? We're like, we gotta get out of here. Let us into town into Barrie. And then we drove from that felt like it was 9 hours.
Yeah, once we got on the freeway, it's like, okay, it's sort of cleared up. There was at least other cars, and we're like, all right, we're fine. I somehow got into the front seat because I think everybody passed out.
Everyone was so drunk past and you're like, I'll stay awake with you. And I was like, somebody has to, or we're gonna die. Yeah. So we played Would You Rather for roughly 5 hours. But then do you remember the one you said to me that got me laughing so hard?
I think it was, would you rather have meatballs for eyes or meatballs for hands?
Yes. And I almost drove off the road because I was like, what the hell is that's how bad it got. Like, you start by playing like, we always start like, would you rather like sniff on Jeremy's dick or kill yourself? It's like, well, kill yourself. There's no other option here. But then it spiraled into meatballs for eyes, and then we were on meatballs for eyes for such a long time.
Yeah, it's meatballs for eyes has never left. Honestly, when I play that game now, it's always meatballs for eyes, and I always start with that, and then I go and then people are like, oh, okay, you don't have another one. I'm like, or shut up, I don't know.
Why everyone who plays that game starts with one they think is so funny, and then never has a second one.
And then never has a second one.
Meatballs for eyes and meatballs for butts. They have 2 butt cheeks as meatballs.
2 giant meatballs as each butt cheek.
That'd be nice. That would feel squishy.
And then you just poo marinara sauce.
That's kind of what I'm doing right now. Oh, I know. I got another butt cut. This podcast should just be called Butt Cuts.
Butt cuts.
Butt cuts with
Steph Tolev.
I should do that.
Every time you get a fucking hemorrhoid, the last time you had this like raging hemorrhoid, we literally talked on the phone, and then the next day I got a hemorrhoid. I'm like, your voice activated a hemorrhoid in my ass.
You blame me.
I'm like, I never get hemorrhoids. I talk to you for 30 minutes. All of a sudden I have a hemorrhoid.
How dare you blame my baritone for giving your ass a roid? Amy Miller called me and she's like, I have a hemorrhoid, and I probably should have said her full name, but who cares? I did.
Everybody has
a hemorrhoid. And then I was like, I gave her the whole description, blah, blah, blah. Can I go away? She's like, yeah, right. And then she messaged me back like a couple weeks ago. She's like, it's gone. It's back in. I go, congratulations.
I'm like, yeah, right. Like, she's a fucking sassy teen. Whatever, mom.
My hemorrhoid's not going back in.
Hemorrhoids come and go.
You know what I found the other day too with my Beauregard shirt that Anessa got us? Actually, the weekend I met Jefferson. We did shrooms and we went to Joshua Tree.
That was the weekend you met him?
The day before I met him.
What?
Yeah, I met him the day before we were going on our trip, and then I was like, that's when we were leaving early in the morning to go Joshua Tree. Me, you, Jessica, Michelle, and Anessa, and then we got hung up on this like Beauregard clip. I'll also post it here. It's hilarious, and we still to this day share it in our group.
It's very good. Oh, Beauregard.
You got to see it. It's this Muppet thing.
It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, but let's get back to your body things.
Okay, my body.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like the theme of my life has been head stuff.
Wait, I want to do the thyroid quickly.
Oh yeah, thyroid. Yeah, thyroid.
Did you have to get the operation in here, the surgery?
No thyroid surgery or anything. So what happened was I was probably around like 12, 13, and I was so tired all the time. Like so fucking tired. My skin was dry. I was always cold. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Went to the doctor, and the Dr. Keeley, who...
Shout out to Dr.
I don't know if she's still with us, but
no.
Looked sort of like Katie Lang style, but like a large Katie Lang, had a bit of a mustache.
Oh.
And she was just like, yeah, that's just the way it is. You're a kid, you're growing, and kids are tired. Cut to like my 4th visit as a kid being like, can you do a blood test or something?
Yeah.
And they finally did a blood test, and she's like, oh my God, your thyroid levels are through the roof. Like, I've never seen levels this high. So I had to start going to an endocrinologist who was like a fucking thyroid doctor.
Yeah.
And then since then, I've been on like levothyroxine, or a variation of thyroid medication.
Every day take it?
Every single day.
Oh shit.
And every single day of my life, I will take it.
Every single day. You can't stop.
I can't stop.
And that doesn't make you feel anything?
No, it's just replacing something that my body's not naturally making.
Okay.
Although I went to doctors are all out to lunch. I went to a doctor the other day because for like a rash, and by the other day, this was 3 years ago.
It's like, I never heard about this rash. Yeah. What are you hiding it from me?
And he was like, he comes in and he's like, you're on quite a high level of thyroid medication for your weight. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, why don't you just take blah 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 instead? It's like I don't know if it was like bovine something. I'm like,
bovine sex club.
You know, it's like, why don't you fucking lick a cow's ass or whatever it was? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, can you write that down? And he's like, I'm not the doctor. I'm like, who are you?
Who's this guy?
He was just the nurse that kind of floated in and was like, by the way, this natural medicine's better than what you're taking. And I'm like, who are you?
What the heck is this?
Anyway. I don't know. I trust my endocrinologist, whether I should or not, but yeah.
Because thyroid, so you either can gain weight, right? Or you can...
There's a whole bunch of things that it can affect, but I get like every 6 months I see my endocrinologist, and I get regular blood work and just to make sure it's all fine. I love to blame, like I have gained weight obviously since I was 25. I mean, we all have. Actually,
yeah, it's bizarre if you haven't.
But I like to be like, it's probably my thyroid that's the problem. And then I go and they're like, no, everything looks great. I'm like,
just say it's my thyroid. Both me and my sister have been blaming our thyroid for 15 years. We both have nothing wrong with the thyroid. Every time I go in, I'm like, just check the thyroid again. They're like, there's no thyroid.
Yeah.
You're a fat pig. Put down the chips.
No.
Put the chips back down.
Put the puppy down. You remember that in Beethoven? What, this puppy? The guy, he's gonna fucking toss the puppy over the cliff.
Aww.
Put the puppy. Oh, what, this puppy? But yeah, my whole family. I got diagnosed with it, but then later on, like my aunt, like lost all her hair, like really serious thyroid stuff. Yeah, like wears a wig. My dad has thyroid, so like thyroid runs in the Hladkowicz on the Hladkowicz side of the family.
In the the tongue is so gross. So what other? Because I was gonna ask you about stuff. So.
Yeah, ask me.
My therapist that I don't know how I feel about yet. 170 a session. Is that normal?
It is.
It's a lot.
It is, but it is a lot. And guess what? Therapy is a lot, and I hate it, and that's why so many people
don't go. I was like, am I not going anymore?
I finally found someone, and she's giving me like the friends and family deal because someone recommended me.
Okay.
And she doesn't take any kind of insurance because I even have insurance, but they're like, this one person's in your network, and they're like,
oh yeah, some old
sucked.
Pervert, and I'm like, I don't want this man staring at me. I was discussing my crazy jealousy and my like spiraling thoughts and like how I get hung up on things and then I can't get them out of my head. OCD? And I make up, yes. And she was like, well, this sounds like something that you might, I don't want to say for sure, but you might need to get onto some like antidepressants.
Okay. Interesting.
And I don't love that idea.
I didn't love it for so long. I have been, denying it for most of my life. Because I even remember one of my ex-boyfriends. It's so many. No, I had like one.
I know. I was like, well, like the one that I know.
Because he was on antidepressants. He's like, you should be on something. I'm like, I don't need a fucking pill. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then finally I was like, let me try it. So then I went on Lexapro and it worked for a bit. And actually just recently, so I got this new therapist and I'm like, I've been on this such a low dose of Lexapro for so long. I'm like, I can't tell because I have like rumination, like spiraling thoughts. Like I'm like a dog with a bone. I get something in my head, whether it's bad or good or whatever. And I like can't let it go. And I like my OCD was coming back. I'm like, oh my God. So she's like, I find Lexapro like a good starter one. And she's like, a lot of people will switch after because I've been on it for 3 years and I just switched to Zoloft.
Okay.
And it's too early to tell.
So how long did you wait to actually feel something?
They said like 6 weeks and it's probably been like a week.
And you take it every day?
You take it every day.
This is my question. Well, this is, I guess you can answer this exactly. I'm worried about it affecting me on stage.
No.
Okay. Because I'm like, I'm cuckoo bazooku up there. That's where I want to keep my kooky. Kooky needs to stay on the stage.
You're still going to be kooky on stage. I'm fucking medicated. I'm still cuckoo bananas.
Yeah, okay.
We're both hurricanes on stage, and that hasn't stopped me. If anything, and this is probably a reason I drank. My like baseline when I'm not drinking is way more manic. Like sober sets of me that I'll watch back, and I'm like, what the fuck was going on? It's because like it's like almost like I need the alcohol to like.
Level yourself out
to level me out, which is bad.
You're not drinking heavily for a show. You have like one drink.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not fucking chugging whiskey backstage.
No, like, I've never even. I don't think I've ever seen you drunk on stage. You're very good at hiding it. Because it freaks me out. I've never been on medication. Not like anything. It directly is the stage stuff. That's the only reason I'd be like, I don't want to like. Not think of because I'm like some of my manic thoughts are funny and they become like a sketch or like a stand-up thing. So I'm like I want to keep some of the manic thoughts.
You still have the manic thoughts. It just takes the edge off a little bit.
Because I'm spiraling in a way, and there's something that happened that I think we both know that we can discuss later. A friend of ours is going through something that is my biggest nightmare. Is my biggest fucking nightmare with the internet and how the internet's bad and how
we're both just clutching our chairs.
How liking thirst traps is a bad thing and it's called micro cheating and I'm losing my mind over it because I go back to things. I was like, is everything like he? And then I'm like, oh, I'm not making these things up. People can meet somebody online and I'm going crazy and I'm like, I have to stop because I'm like. He's like, well, I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, I'm just making things up in my head and like.
And that will help. Like, obviously, being on an SSRI will help because it's not just the jealousy thing.
Oh, no.
Exactly. But the jealousy thing will, with talk therapy, with whatever, because you have been scorned in the past by other people. So that's there. And a pill's not going to erase all that. It's not like you take it and, I forgot about all the times that someone hurt me. Like, it doesn't do that.
Can we make that?
What
is that
every
pill?
2 seconds I'm like, can I just have a tiny lobotomy?
Just a small,
just a little one.
Just as the one little just a
few bad things that I fucking like. I'll get in like arguments with someone from like years ago that still I'll like have a fucking dream about every now and then. I'm like, get out of here. Why are you in my head? I hate this. And it just, it eats away at me. And I'm like, and then I get like, I'm like, if I have to see them, I get so fucking worked up. So yeah, to answer your question, no, it doesn't take away your fucking manic shit.
Damn it.
But it will help a little bit.
Cause I'm like, cause even like every time this is my last service too. I was still talking about all like, when you've been hurt by men 3,000 times in your fucking life, it's hard. And I don't know. I'm like, my trust is gone and I'm trying so hard to get it back. But I'm like, is there a trust pill? Because I might need that.
The only trust pill is time. Because even when Matt and I started dating, because when we first hooked up, he was with this other, we were both on breaks with our partners at the time.
Oh, okay.
And then I like left my boyfriend for good. And then he kind of kept getting back together with his girlfriend. And then I was like, what are we? He's like, why do we have to be anything? Like, we put labels on it. I'm like, because I'm a comedian and I don't just fuck comics willy-nilly. If you want to do that, that's great, but that's not me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, bye. Left.
Shaving my head again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we parted ways for like months and months and months. And then he came crawling back. And he was like, my biggest regret is not blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, And for like years, I would like bring that up. And he's like, just get over it. And I'm like, I don't want to get over it.
Yeah.
What the fuck was wrong with you? Like, I would just bring it up. And only finally now, it'll be our 15-year anniversary next month. I'm like, all right, you're good.
I don't think Jefferson's gonna last 15 years. Me being like, remember when you liked that thirst trap with that comedian? I'm gonna kill myself. It's never gonna end. It was a one-piece bathing suit. It says it was a thirst trap. Yes, it was a thirst trap. Never gonna drop it. Never. It's in my every morning. I wake up and it's just in there. It's bad. I can't live like this. This is psychotic. I don't want to be like this. I want to be happy. It's like It's like self-sabotaging. It's like a demented thing to do. But like
humans we like seeing bodies and shapes, and I like to think that Matt's like this like sexless fucking loser who only is like horny for me, even though I fucking walk around in sweatpants farting. Like, but then like
sexless loser. You said that and just moved on. I'm like, no, we're not done with sexless loser.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, he's so like, there's no way he likes whatever. And then, but because he got his vasectomy, which I know you're going to have him on the podcast and potentially talk about that.
Yes.
He literally like had to clear out the tubes. Like you have to like jizz a certain amount of times before your next appointment. And he was on the cruise ship. So he was talking about his jizzing. And I was like, just jokingly, I'm like, what are you thinking about me when you're doing it? And he's like, huh. And I'm like, oh yeah, you watch porn. I'm like, and that's fine. But like I'm sure you do on occasion. Like I do on occasion, and I'm just like, ew.
I don't
especially
like thinking about.
I don't like thinking about that.
No, I can't.
I'm like, what do you watch? And then he's like, Julia. He's like, we have to be. Oh, I'm like, the fact that I'm like, we've been together 15 years, but I'm still like, just especially because I was just at the porn awards with you.
I think that's what's weird now because I'm like, did he see people that he knew and he's like, I'm gonna remember her and go home and watch her tonight? I'm like,
I don't know. I'm
not gonna lie to you. I haven't watched porn since the porn awards.
I don't know. I haven't either.
I can't. I have no interest.
It's just the men, for the most part, like
seeing those
so gross. That ugly, disgusting man coming up to me and like, you're gonna be a star. I'm like, excuse me? He's like, you should be up there talking about your pussy. And I'm like, oh, like Steph? Because you were. And he's like, no, like that girl on stage getting her award right now. And I'm like, oh, no. And he's like, you in the industry? I'm like, no. And everybody's like, wait, do you know that man? I'm like, no. They're like, we thought that was your friend. I'm like, in what world?
I hate that man.
This is man, my friend.
No, and then I remember, what would you said something so funny. Oh, when we were walking out and there's just those perverts like, what award did you win? And what did you say?
I said, they're like, did you win? I'm like, yeah. They're like, what for? I'm like, best triple sex.
And the guy was like, probably Googling it. Triple sex award doesn't make any sense.
Triple sex liqueur.
You were having quite the time at those after parties. I was coughing up a lung and I look over and you're bowling and all these porn stars' tits are rubbing on your eyes. I'm like, what is going on?
I got a spare. Felt pretty good.
You were. I'm like. I look over. I'm like, Julia. I'm over here. Some other girl's flashing me, and I'm like, I have to go. I have to go to bed.
Some girl showed you her fucking pussy.
That was crazy. That was the hairiest vagina I've ever seen in my life.
It was hair. It was hair everywhere. It was like she was wearing a merkin that she cut out of Bigfoot.
It literally was. You know what it was Davy Crockett hats.
Yeah.
It was so fuzzed up and it was like long, wide, and I've never seen people carry that long before.
And because she was like a slim woman, and it was just like it just took over.
And no underwear. She just lifted up her dress. No. She's there. She is. This is for you. I was like, ah! I remember Michael. It was so funny because my sassy gauge and Michael was like, oh my good God. Like he was just, everyone was just like, what is God? Good Christ.
Why do you think just because you talk about that on stage,
see it.
Nobody wants to see that.
I don't want to see anything anymore. Just shut my eyes. Actually, Jefferson and I had really good sex last night. So good that my back is quite sore. And that was a good spank bank one.
Okay, so so you log.
I've been logging now. I'm logging. Okay. I'm Kenny Loggins over here.
So for when he goes on the ship. When he's away at sea.
Yeah, when he's old huffing the old sea bucket.
I love that our husbands our partners, our lovers go off to sea.
It's insane. I can't believe you're going to sea soon.
I'm going to sea next week. Next month. Sorry.
Next month. You're going to sea.
Yeah, because it's Matt's 40th birthday. So the first day of the cruise is his 40th birthday. And he's like, I cannot be on this cruise alone, turning 40 at sea.
No.
So, and then it's also our 15-year anniversary a few days later. So I'm like, yeah, we'll make a whole thing out of it.
Make a thing. This will be out, I think, after my 40th. I'm 40 right now, technically.
You're technically 40 and you're wearing your birthday present.
Look at this beautiful necklace Julia got me. Wolfie. It's so
little
cute.
Wolfie.
It's gonna be. I don't love getting 40. The closer to 40 I get, the closer to death we become, and the more it depresses me. Is there a pill that I could erase the thought of dying out of my head? That'd be nice.
I mean, yeah, like Lexapro or something might like help.
Okay.
I used to think about dying a lot. Like
where to go? Because I can't get rid of it.
I don't know. I think it was kind of with my OCD. I used to have way worse OCD as a kid. Like I would literally have to like flick lights on a certain amount of time, or like say a certain prayer before bed. Be like, please make sure my parents are okay and whatever. And if I didn't do that, they would die.
Oh fuck!
Always think because my parents are like, my mom had me at 37, which was like a bit older, especially for the time. I feel like now everybody's like 40 having kids, and I was just like, they're gonna die because my parents smoke, and I'm like, oh my god. I don't know. It just sort of. Grew out of it, I guess, but also, yeah, being on an anxiety pill has definitely helped.
Then I definitely have OCD because it's every night before I go to bed, I'm like, gonna die. Yeah. See you later. I don't want to die.
It's just crazy.
I don't sing that song. I should sing the song. It might help.
Bye bye, going to die.
No, I'm not gonna have that in my head. Bye bye. It's a sauna in here.
It's quite warm.
Okay, let's get to what's the worst body thing you've ever heard.
Okay, so the worst body, I was struggling with this question.
Meatballs for eyes.
Well, okay, and you said or an old wives' tale or something.
Yes.
I don't know why this stood out to me. Okay, so two things. One thing, and I'm sure everybody's like grandparent did this, but my granddad, I think he caught me picking my nose once, and this isn't even that bad. But he's like, stop picking your nose, or like your nostrils will stretch out. Okay. And guess what? Never picked my nose again.
Really? I'm picking all the time.
Oh, no.
You don't pick?
Oh, like an occasional, like, whatever. But I'm not like, kids, they're just like, literally.
It stopped you. Shit.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't want to fucking flare out these nostrils. But okay. There was a rumor when I was a kid. I went to Hopewell Elementary School. And I went there from like kindergarten to 8th grade.
Does this have to do with hot dogs?
Hot dogs?
Okay, never mind. Because I was like, this. If it's the hot dog one, this one's been told quite a few times.
Oh, no, nothing with hot dogs.
Okay, hot dog in the vagina.
Okay, so it's like...
It's stuck in there, this whole thing. Okay.
Okay. No, this is, I guess, this rumor, and it was a really old school, and they had this creepy, like, large bathroom, and it was, like, over 100 years old in the basement, and there was this rumor that the janitor had, like, her head got cut off doing something at some point way back, and then there was a rumor that she had her head brutally cut off, and there was this brutal, fucking gross, bloody head, and that would just be in the toilet, and there was a head in the toilet, and she would wait for kids, so I was terrified to go to the bathroom. Like I would hold my pee. I would never want to go. And like in my mind, I was like, okay, well, it's got to be in that stall. So I would never use that stall. And then I think it was around the same time I watched I watched E.T. I got a really big complex about E.T. I was so afraid of E.T. I don't know why.
He does look like the bottom of a toe. He's like a wet toe.
It's when he does... and then my sister would do it all the time to me. My sister would terrorize me, and then I'd cry. She's like, "Why are you crying, you ugly face kid?" And then she would tell me I was adopted from the Oxford orphanage in England.
Oh my god, very specific.
Very specific. Yeah. She's a fucking bitch. Hi, Jen. But yeah, so in my head, I was like, okay, the head in the toilet is ET, and it's if I sit on the toilet, it's gonna go and in my ass, and I just
in your ass.
Like this is what I'm thinking of as a kid.
You needed to be on Lexapro as a kid. Jesus Christ.
No,
that's insane.
All the stuff like that I was going through as a kid. Now I'm like, oh, this makes perfect sense of why I am the way that I am. Everyone's like, you're too sensitive. Just calm down. Yelling at me to calm down. I'm like,
no, ET's in my ass. ET's head's in my ass. Wait, did you ever look that up to see if that actually happened at the school?
No. It was some like bitchy older kid. You know how older kids are. Just being like, yeah, you don't want to go in there. There's a head in the toilet.
Ottawa. Do you like growing up in Ottawa?
I did.
It was so cold there when I was just there. I'm never going back.
Never going back. It is really fucking cold. But I did enjoy growing up in Ottawa. I liked I would skate to my dance classes. And
the canal is cool.
Yeah, the canal is cool.
Yeah.
I would rollerblade to the Rito Center to my job at Club Monaco when I was 17.
Wow. I saw an old picture of me in a classic Club Monaco sweater. I miss those. Those oversized, like white and the big print.
Yeah. Club Monaco was cool for a bit. Now it's just like overpriced whatever.
There's faceless mannequins in there touching each
beige.
other's butt.
Why is it so beige?
Yeah, Club Monaco. If you're listening
Get
to
a
this
pop of color, Club Monaco.
Get a little bit of a hue in there.
Yeah.
We'd love a peach or a light blue.
I mean, we're both like
both sitting here patterned up.
to the gods.
I still have my scar from that is from the hair curling iron in Vegas. I think the day before you got there, I scarred myself. Yeah, and now I'm covered in hives again. They're back.
Why stress?
I think the old.
I think
I'm allergic to the old. I'm allergic to the old Apoquel fucking inhaler.
Apoquel.
I'm never gonna be well.
No.
The second you leave, I have to take another swig of milk and magnesium and give myself the shits because
the anal
back.
fissure.
Yeah, we're back. It's just never going away. That's who I am now.
Fissure. There's so much I had planned. I literally even called my mom on the car ride here, and I was like, "Hey, remember when I got into that horrible bike accident? Can you tell me about that? Because I wasn't sure.
Oh yeah, what was the bike? Was that? I knew you back then. Was that in? Where was that?
Well, so I've been in 3 terrible bike accidents. The first one was when I was probably like 10 or 11. I was literally right around the corner from my house. Thank God. My sister was racing me on foot. She was very fast. I was on my bike and I turned the corner, fell. Don't remember anything after that. My helmet cracked. That's how hard.
Canada Tire?
I
Canadian
hit
Tire?
my head, probably.
Those white
helmet cracked. I don't remember anything. My mom calls 911 and people are like, my sister thought I was joking. So she's like, Julia. And then she's like, she's not waking up.
Oh,
they thought I was dead. My mom's like, the fire truck comes first because they usually show up first. Then the ambulance comes. They take me to the children's hospital. They like strap me to like a fucking gurney. So I'm not.
Did you wake up at this point?
No. I truly don't remember.
Oh, fuck.
My mom's like in the back with me. She's like, your dad's out of town on business. She's like, I put your sister over with the neighbor. I get there. She's like, we're in this like waiting room waiting for the doctor to see you. She's like, and then you start vomiting. She's like, you just start vomiting. She's like, but you're strapped to a board. And she's like, I'm worried you're going to start choking on your vomit. Because I guess that happens with head injuries and stuff. So she's like, I'm picking up the board and turning you.
Oh my God.
Eventually the doctor comes back and they're like, yes, this is a severe concussion. And they kept me for a while. Then they're like, when she goes home, like just wake her up every hour on the hour, ask her like basic questions, make sure she doesn't slip into a coma. So my poor
nightmare.
Mom.
So she had to say like, there's no alarm. You're just staring
so my
at you.
mom's just like staring, and then she would ask questions, and I'd kind of answer them. And she's like, the 4th time, she's like, I wake you up, I ask you what your last name is. She's like, you're humming and hawing for a bit, and like, and then you go Chapman. Chapman's my mom's last name, which is my middle name. Hladkowicz, which is very fucking difficult, is my real last name. And my mom goes, good enough.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed. And my mom was like, I was supposed to be getting an award for 25 years of like service for this big like government job that she did. And she's like, I didn't go the next day. She's like, I even had a new outfit and everything. I'm like, oh, sorry, I almost died.
Sorry, I had a concussion, bitch.
Yeah. No. And then she's like, oh yeah, and then there's another time you're a toddler and you fell down the stairs like an old drunkard, but you seemed okay. I'm like, and she just started, I'm like, Mom, and I was like, I just asked for this one story, but thanks.
I fell down the stairs like a
she's
drunkard.
like, kids just move like cockroaches when they're that age, and you just tumbled right down. And anyway, you seemed fine. I'm like,
there's probably so much crazy shit that happened to us when we were really young, like bunch of head knocks that were like,
oh yeah,
and their parents, I'm not gonna say
this scar here. I allegedly was bouncing on the bed, and I jumped off and hit my like thing on the radiator. My mom's like, I don't remember that. And then my dad was like, oh right, that's when Grammy was taking care of you, and I had to go to the hospital and get stitches. And I was like, 2.
What the heck? I don't think they watched us. Like I picture like,
no,
I have a photo. Oh my God, I'm gonna find it. There's a photo of me in a crib, surrounded by 348 pillows and blankets, knives. There's a couple open scissors, some shears. It's literally I'm pillowed in, full blanket, full pillow. And then it cuts to my sister found a picture of Penelope in her bed, swaddled with nothing. And I'm like, how am I alive?
Yeah.
I was the same age as her. How did I not roll over and suffocate on these like weird balloon? What the fuck?
Probably because at the time they're like, surround your kid with pillows so they don't fucking fall over.
I had a fucking comforter in there. I'm not even like 6 months old and I'm wrapped up. It was crazy.
Yeah, we should all be dead.
We should all be dead.
Parenting was different back then.
The pablum we ate, the fucking...
My parents were for sure smoking in the house at the time. Isn't that wild?
Oh, fuck.
Smoking.
I think
that's why I'm probably always phlegmy.
People still are smoking on these kids.
There's a picture of my mom. God bless her. She says she didn't smoke during pregnancy. Jury's still out on that. It's before... It's this picture of her right before she gave birth to my sister. She's like, oh, this was about a week before I gave birth to your sister. And she's like, oh, she's outside in a bikini drinking a glass of wine. She's like, I look fabulous. And I'm like, Mom. She's like, at that point, the baby's already cooked. It's fine. I'm like, okay.
The baby's already cooked.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Fun. Yeah. Oh, if you think Joy Tolev didn't have a couple sips of the old Cab Sab during my pregnancy, let's think again.
Yeah.
She was 24 years old. Maybe a couple Smirnoff Ices.
Your mom was only 20. That's wild. Your mom was 24. My mom was 37. Wild.
Wow.
Which is my age now. Ugh. And I really thought, I'm like, yeah, by 37, I'll know if I want to have kids. And my husband got a vasectomy. Hey, not going to happen.
I don't think I want to.
Also, and especially now that you've talked to so many people here who've had babies and whatever, and so many of my friends have had babies lately, and you're like, oh my God, like it's an actual
my sister's
nightmare.
Pussy fell out of her body. She wiped her puss and it was down by her knees. I can't have this. Rosebud was on here telling me about these varicose veins you get in your pussy.
Because I was just watching some of your podcasts, and I was like,
no, that ruined
varicose veins
in your huge looking down, and people are saying they have them. It's not good.
And those
There's
are
too much
painful.
Going on. It's so much going on. Okay, let's get to the final question. Funniest way you can die.
Okay. So I thought about this.
You're prepped up for this. Like, I like when people do their homework. Some people come on here, you know who you are. You don't fucking read my questions, and then I sit here staring at them and go,
okay. I'm prepared. Funny, and I think maybe it's the funniest way anybody could die, but I pictured the funniest way I could die. If that's okay.
That's what it is.
Okay. I wasn't just like in general. I'm like, the mailman,
What? That's your other option for meatballs, fries, or the mailman. I'm panicking again.
Okay. So I'm on stage. Picture it. I'm on stage, and it's important to know it's a big theater, but it's also it doubles as a Cirque du Soleil theater. This is very important.
Wow.
So
okay.
Big theater. All my fans are there. I'm killing. People are already laughing. People are already having a good time. Someone comes out and pantses me. Someone comes out and pantses me, and I'm in such shock and scared. And because I do have I think I have IBS and stuff. We didn't even get to that. I shit myself, right? And because I shit myself and everybody's laughing, I get so panicked. I have a heart attack. And as I'm having a heart attack, I'm trying to walk off stage, but then I step into one of those trapeze things, and it flings me up high above the stage and starts swirling me around and starts just flinging shit all into the audience. And everybody's like, ah! Anyway, I think that's the funniest way I could die.
How? This is very thought out. The trapeze flinging is quite good. People just bring up tarps. They're like,
I just think getting pantsed. First of all, I find it if someone pantses me, I don't really find it funny, but someone getting pantsed is just so classic.
Were you around for the tearaway thing when they did the tearaways in high school?
Oh God, yeah.
But you shouldn't even be. I always think of this. I don't know. I must have mentioned this before. How you don't mind being naked. You did that fucking Bear Oaks naked stand-up show that I'll never get over. You were butt naked, squatting your puss in front of a 14-year-old that you said was playing guitar with his schlong out, and
he was 16.
I checked his ID.
Well, he said, "This is my 16-year-old son," and then I glanced down for a second. I'm like, I can't be here. This is weird. Yeah. First of all, I don't enjoy it.
But I cannot believe you did it.
No, it's something I wouldn't do now. At the time I did it, and Leanne, who was booking it at the time, she's like, we're driving to Bear Oaks. She's like, I can't believe you said yes. That's not what she sounds like.
I was like, I don't think
she sounds like Ron James. Look it up. It's a Canadian guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, look it up.
But yeah, it's something I'm glad that I did once. Thanks for a fun story.
It is a fun story. Every time I think of it, I get anxiety.
Yeah. I remember a few weeks later, we were up at your cottage and we were having dinner, and your parents' friends were there. And this one woman was repulsed.
Yeah, I don't know what her problem was with that.
She was just ew. I'm like, I'm not gonna whip my pussy out
Yeah.
at the dinner table
And
now.
then you fell off her dock in the water.
Oh, I was drinking red wine out of a sippy cup on the boat.
We have a drinking problem at the cottage. The family gets carried away.
Yeah.
And then we decide to do water sports, and that's probably a bad idea.
We were on the boat. We were going to her house, whoever's house this was. Unlit path. First of all, I
There
could have
was no light,
sued,
and it was
and then I ate shit.
it was quite dark.
I've fallen so many times.
My parents still bring that up. Anybody that has one misstep at the cottage, you're drunk, you barf, you do something once, that's it.
Oh, and I barfed. It was the next day I barfed. I was so hungover, and your mom's like, "Do you want me to make you some hot dogs?" I'm like, "Yes." She boils me up some hot dogs, and then I immediately barf.
Well, yeah.
And I remember I'm like barfing in your woods because I didn't want to do it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then a chipmunk looked at me. I was like, "Stop! Don't look at me."
Danowski broke a glass once, a wine glass, and she's not allowed to have glass. She comes out, they have a special plastic cup for Laura. She's not allowed.
God. Oh, the Tolevs. This is why you are the way that you are.
I'm not well. Special glass for you. Okay, enough about this. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me.
I think you start shaking. I'm like, guess there.
You can find me on Instagram, Julia Comedy. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I have like a link tree on there. When's this going to be out, did you say?
3 weeks or 4 weeks. So it's due the end of March.
End of
dates,
March.
Yes.
I don't know. Just go follow me. I have a bunch of I have little things here coming up. I honestly don't remember.
If you like a comedian, follow them on Instagram
Yes.
and go check her fucking
Julia
dates.
Comedy,
That's it.
because I'm gonna be posting all my got really Italian there, all my links
God.
on my link tree. Yeah.
That's that.
Just follow me. It really friggin' helps, eh?
I don't know if anything helps anymore.
It
helps.
helps.
Follow her. Unfollow me. Follow her.
No, you can follow both of us. Aw.
Thank you for watching. If you haven't liked and subscribed to my fucking YouTube, the hell is your problem?
Yeah.
The YouTube actually
Asshole.
matters because I get paid $1. Julia got a free La Croix for this podcast, so we'd love
Yeah.
to get some cashola here. Thank you.
Thank Stephanie.
Bye.
What a fun time.